Hello. We have real music, Carl. Usually we have to. We don't have to work out. Hi everyone. Hi. Welcome. You can see we're in a different location for Life Amplified. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're gonna let everyone. Now we're a little bit. No. And usually I say, and I'm still gonna say it, hi, tell us where you're from. And Nick, who's behind the screen again, just like he is every week, will let people in as they're getting into our there. But let's get started, and that means it's another episode of Life Amplified. Carl, and he's the founder of Pittsburgh, serving every Wednesday at 2 o'clock on Zoom and on TikTok. We get together for Life Amplified. Some exercises, so please laugh with us, not at us. Okay, and we thought we spent Wednesday talking about adaptive fitness, exercises, and physical health for folks living with limb loss and limb difference. Now, I want to start out by introducing you to who we have behind us with Coach Jake, who's behind us. So first, for all of you, you notice we're not in our studio. I do not have Chihuahua Carl here or the green screen in the background. This is real. This is not a green screen. We are at UFC Gym. Here they have generously given us. Thank you very much. All right. You will see we have Lucho. Say hi. You will hear us. This is Lucho. So every time on a Wednesday you hear me say, Lucho, what did that person's comment say? Now you know who we're talking about, okay? You all know Carl. We have Rudy, who is another model today, doing exercises. And we have Sean as well. And of course, Coach Jake, who we're going to get to in a moment. So thank you all for participating and being here with us for Life Amplified. So Carl, let me start with you. Is physical fitness important?
Buddy, but
true.
Why is it different for us? Well, before I start into that, I want to point out something. This is probably the cleanest gym I've ever seen. I've never been in the gym.
We keep it clean.
This spectacular.
Yes.
So this is amazing. There's a cage behind us. I mean, this place
tires,
is incredible.
everything. Yeah.
The staff is amazing. So the reason exercise is so important for an amputee. Number one, obviously, mental health, being stable, being productive, staying healthy, it's important. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter if you're an amputee or not. However, with us, it is difficult. We do like to gain muscle. We don't want to get there.
Oh, you'll be back on.
This is, and losing weight, not so good. You want to maintain what you got. You want to stay healthy. You want to stay fit because you're going to get a better fit. You're going to feel better. You're going to be able to be more active, and you're going to be able to move better, which is most important. So today, if you have questions or you have ideas, if you're having issues with types of exercises that you currently do, or you want ideas, or you want us to demonstrate something, today's the day to ask a question. Type it up in the comfortable issue.
We start our webinars, and then I have a follow-up question for you, okay? First thing, you all know, you can participate live with us. Now, we have a little bit of a different setup this time, so we're using an iPad, which means Carl and I, we cannot see you, but Nick behind the screen can see you and can read your comment. 50%. So if you want to put a question into the chat, Nick will read it for us. Nick, I'm not sure if we can hear their questions if they come off of mute. Can you tell us?
I did tell them to type it.
Okay, there you go. We've got music in the background, so for today, don't worry about having your voice recorded or anything like that. You will type your question into the chat and we will ask it. If you have a particularly sensitive question, that's something you might not want the internet to know you're asking, be mindful that we record the webinars and we post them to YouTube every Friday, and we send out the recording. A question, other people are going to hear it live, but also on our recordings into the internet for eons. where you're from. But we serve people everywhere. We'd love to know how far our webinar reaches. Make sure you're putting in the chat where you're from. Say hi. Nick, introduce on. Wait until the end of a question. Just let Nick know and we can stop at any time. Now, Carl, you mentioned physical fitness being important. Am I right that losing weight, either down or up, can affect your fit with your prosthetic?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. So that's one thing everyone wants to be mindful of, right? And another thing I think people should be mindful of is building your core strength and balance, right?
So thank you for bringing ounces always off. Sometimes when I talk about balance, it's not just stairs, going up or going down, but some your legs counterbalance you as you're sitting up, swinging in a chair, or if you're just sitting on a stool where your feet are hanging. So those kind of things are super important. You're right.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. Now, I think we should get started with our guest, our star.
I'm going to sneak off camera and let him come up and take over.
Yes,
so,
and I should
Coach
say,
Jake.
for folks who have been wondering, Carl, before you depart us.
We want to talk about my demise.
Yes, well, not your demise, but for folks who have been wondering, and of course our recurring guests.
Actually didn't. Forget that explanation could you possibly have?
Because of that, we're not going to be demonstrating the exercise.
Yes, I have a minor setback, so I'm having some tendonitis, so I'm taking it a little easy. I'm still on the crutches. I'm trying not to put a lot of weight. But full disclosure, I will recover. I will be back to running in January like I promised. And I should be, I think by the end of next week, I'll actually be no crutches at all and finally getting back to the old Carl.
A sense of normalcy. So if you're wondering where Carl's going, he'll be laughing at us and giving his commentary from the side, but we don't want to make any further issues before your doctor's appointment. We'll talk more about Carl's recovery next Wednesday on Life Amplified, and we are recording our third segment of our podcast, The Amputee Show, where we're going to go into more detail, okay? So on that note, get up.
No.
Coming up here, I have my cheat sheet because I'm all out of sorts being in this really cool gym. And thank you for giving us
our pleasure.
the space. I want to get started with having you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about you and what you do here, and then let's get into some demonstrations, okay?
Yeah.
So tell everyone who you are and what you do here at UFC Gym.
I'm Coach Jake. I'm head of personal training and the recovery spa. I've been in personal training for over 2 decades now. I started with general strength conditioning, branched into youth baseball and hockey conditioning.
Cool.
But I have all types of clients, from youth to older people.
Okay. All different ability levels as well?
Yes, and all different types of.
Okay, great. Now, we should tell everybody up front, if you have a recent amputation, a medical issue going on, some kind of an injury, please talk with your doctor, right?
Right.
We don't want to suggest that what we're doing here is appropriate for everyone. You want to be mindful of your own condition. Listen to your body. Somebody doesn't feel quite, and talk to your doctor, your physiatrist, yourself. These are things that or kind of everyday type of exercise, or for people who don't have a current injury, a recent or something that they're recovering from.
Right. It's not therapy as it is training the muscular and respiratory system.
Yes. Okay. Great. So we want to be upfront about that. Okay. But obviously, if you have any questions, we can try to answer them, or we'll point you in the direction of someone on your care team who can answer those questions for you. Is there anything you want us to know about you or your background before we get started with our demonstrations?
I've been doing it a long time. Okay. When I first started, I'm old school. We just got in the gym. We did one thing for a month and assessed it. Did that work? 2 things: am I stronger or am I bigger? So I've done it all.
Okay, great. So, and how many years would you say?
It's been around 23 years.
Can you believe he's only 21 years old?
Yeah, right. I wish.
And he's got 23 years of experience.
36.
Okay. All right. 36. He's still young. Now I feel even old. I should not have made that joke.
Not 36.
Yeah. I feel even older. All right.
Way out.
So let's get started. You're gonna take it away. Show us kind of some of the exercises that would be helpful for us to know, and we're gonna have our models, including me, not laugh, try them. Rudy wants to, we'll try with the chair, but then we've got Sean who's not seated, so we can kind of try out different versions of what you have to show. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, take it away. Tell us what we need to know.
So basically focusing on, I start with lower body. You want to engage the tight fast twitch.
The color shall determine which team you will fall under. So, as per our African custom, let us start with the elbow.
Attention to heart rate. Incorporating an anaerobic 130 beats per minute heart rate is going to help release dopamine, for that stability, that mood, that mind. But your general squat, how comfortable you feel with the range of your feet. Most people it's shoulder width,
okay,
but there's so many things you can incorporate with the squat. So you go down into the squat, keeping the shoulder. Your side steps for your outer quads, kind of stretching the knee, as far as you can go, side to side. But most importantly is seated exercise.
Okay.
So with seated exercises, you can engage a lot of core. Generally, you want to scoot your butt, your glutes forward. That's almost going to create a fulcrum on the base of the seat. Then anything with your feet out, you can also incorporate upper body. So tuck your knees.
Okay. So it's the same elbow and knee, right? So same this side of your body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For this.
Gosh, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you want to be aware of your rate, your heart rate. Important. In an aerobic state, generally I tell people around 40 to 45, 126 beats per minute to 144. You're in an aerobic state. So we're using oxygen to burn fat and carbohydrates.
Coach Shake, if someone doesn't have like a smartwatch or something that tells them what their heart rate is there other things that you can use as clues to like my heart's going too fast or not fast enough?
Generally, you want to go by your breathing.
Breathing. Okay, tell us more.
So I always tell my clients when they ask me, how long should I take off? You want to be breathing heavy. You don't want to stop the respiratory system from getting comfortable. You want to keep it aerobic. Adding weight is when you're going to be in an anaerobic state, where we're using a larger to turn glucose glycogen to lactate.
Okay.
We're not using oxygen, but we can remain in both states. We're burning fast, we're strength.
Okay.
So I always recommend, use your lower body and your upper body at the same time.
Okay.
That's what's going to increase oxygen and the heart rate.
So can we try the seated exercise again, the one that you just showed us? And these, Carl, am I right? This is something you could do without your prosthetic on. Will you be able to do this?
Yeah, one of the questions we just got.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't have my leg yet. I'm still in a wheelchair. What can I do to get back into shape or not gain weight?
It seems like it'd be something that you could do.
Right.
Okay,
yes.
Can you give us another demonstration so we could do it a couple of times and see, or what do you call it, reps? What's the lingo? What do we go?
Reps, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Density, yeah. So we want to scoot the butt forward to create that fulcrum.
Okay.
So that you have tension on the lower abs.
Okay, so you should feel tension in your lower stomach area.
Yes.
Okay, you can feel it, everybody? Okay.
Right. And then
okay. And if you have a foot or residual limb, should it touch the ground like this, or should you have your foot, your suspended?
My range of motion isn't the best, so I have to touch the floor.
Okay.
If you can do it without, that's even better.
Okay.
But yes, bringing the shoulder blades off of the seat.
Oh, okay. And about how many of these would a person do before they take a break?
15 each side.
That's actually really hard to do.
Yes.
And where feel size in your stomach area?
In your abdominals, your inguinal obliques, the lower, that's the muscle you're using to bring your legs up.
The sound keeps cutting in and out.
So, are there a song that they should be mindful of? Like if they feel something in their arm or what?
You don't want pain or discomfort in the neck
Okay.
or the
People
lower
kind of
back.
pulling on your neck or your lower
Correct.
back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't pull on the head.
Okay.
Right.
And obviously, for our friend who asked a question about if you're seating, you move yourself into a chair. Like you could even use a kitchen chair. We're using office chairs, right?
Yes.
You don't need any special chair to do this.
No.
Okay.
It is better to have one with handles. That way, there's more things you can do with it,
Oh, okay. Tell us more about that.
such as dips. So
Dips,
so
okay.
weight assisted. We're gonna just for safety.
Okay.
Of course, any wheels, and
I like
Want
that.
then pushing ourselves up, squeezing the triceps.
Okay.
Back down without sitting down. So we want to
Oh,
keep
so you're
tension.
hovering.
Yes, keep tension on the triceps. Continue that movement for at least 15 reps.
15 times.
Right.
And so the length of a break in between after
We're gonna quit.
Okay.
I would say 30 seconds.
30
30
seconds.
second rest. The important thing is we want to incorporate in everything that we do, lower body and upper body.
Okay.
Such as not going to a sumo, but a wide
Here,
stance.
Lucho, you do this now. You're gonna do it. Go ahead. Okay. All right.
And it can be in any position, but stretching the up into a press, stretching two cents. Good thing is like laundry detergent, and that's got some weight to it. If you have two that are about the same level, that would be perfect.
And if you don't, go to your neighbor's hide also, right? And that could be your weight.
Right. Yes. Canned goods. One of the best things you can buy, very inexpensive on Amazon. I think it's $15. Are bands.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So for those of you, so we had that as a question actually, Coach Jake, is what can I use at home? So laundry detergent,
Right.
cans.
Yes.
Back in the day,
Canned
we used
goods.
phone books, but people don't even have phone books anymore.
Right.
All right, good. Now, before we get started, I wanted to ask you, since Sean is standing up, what you're showing us, is this an exercise that Sean could do standing up as well? Not the dips, but the kind of toe touch type exercise?
Yes. Yes.
Great. Okay, Sean, I'm volunteering you. Show us how somebody who's not chair bound would do a similar exercise.
Comfortable. Shoulder width apart. We have weight, we have resistance in our
Okay.
hands. We're stretching the hamstrings, the glutes, back straight, coming up into a shoulder press, either military or pronated.
What's the difference between those two?
The orientation of the wrist.
Okay.
So the military press, your deltoid,
Okay.
right? Whereas pronated is going to be mainly all shoulder.
Got it. So you should feel it in your shoulders then.
Correct. Yeah.
And when you're in the down position, you shift your legs.
Hamstrings and glutes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Great. So tell us some more. What else do you have to show us?
So any type of curl. So we could do a forward lunge, stand as deep as you go, but then either to a bicep curl, or what I prefer is, we're holding something, we have tension on the shoulders
Okay.
as we step, because this is going to help with balance. Lateral deltoid raises, right?
Interesting. Now, when you are in the lunge position, should your knee touch the ground?
Did
is it
not
go-
touch the ground.
Oh, okay.
No.
So I did it correctly.
Right.
Okay. So let's do it again. Okay. Nobody's knees touch the ground. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Show us again how we do that.
And then raise as you go down, but you're keeping, by not touching your knee, you're keeping tension on
Got it.
the quads.
Got it.
And then back
Okay.
down.
So for those of you who are not chair bound, this is an exercise you can try. And Carl, is this something that you would try with a prosthetic leg? Okay, you have. So again, be mindful of your balance issues and your comfort that if you are using a prosthetic. If someone has, their limb loss is in their arms, is there a way to kind of modify this piece of it, the arm piece of it, to address balance? Do you have any concerns about that?
It's going to have to be offset. So maybe stepping to the side to support that balance.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, there you go. So
Side steps is really helpful with stair climbing. They go downstairs, which is really harder for us to go up.
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. One thing that I've researched with amputee is there's, and correct me if I'm wrong, Carl, inflammation with the vastus medialis, the teardrop.
Yes.
So anything with a band, like even when I'm at home, I have this middle foot on my couch. I lift it up, put the band under it, and I actually put it through my toe. So for the vastus medialis, the inner quad.
Okay. Okay.
Is really good from keeping that from getting inflamed.
So you can be home while we will include how we send out our recording. Okay. Go ahead, Carl.
People to email you with that. We'll send out a.
You heard of just the first two on the recording and the first two on TikTok. First two people. That, and we will include the links for everyone else. If you're not one of the first two, you'll still be able to look at on your own and purchase one for yourself. Not that expensive, it sounds like.
Like $15 for a set of 3, I believe.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, what else have you got to share with us?
So we obviously want to incorporate more muscles than we have, seated or not.
Okay.
So just a bent over row for the lats and the rear delts.
Okay. And what are those for us non-experts with the terminology that you're using? Tell us what parts of the body we're talking about.
So mainly the lats in the back.
Okay.
And the rear deltoid in the shoulder.
Got it. Okay.
It depends on, I always pretend like I'm reaching for my holster.
Okay.
On my hip. That way I know.
Like you're pulling out your gun. No, I'm kidding. But
pulling out the guns.
Okay.
When you go back, that way you're keeping tension on the lat a lot, because a lot. That's a lot.
When we're doing this, if we're doing it standard, how
shoulder width
apart. Okay.
Shoulder width apart and reaching for the holster.
Got it. Okay.
So one thing I would incorporate is after, because you're going to be holding something, obviously we want some type of resistance.
Like your Tide or your soup cans,
right?
Something to give some extra weight.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, preferably some type of liquid, something with some density to add weight.
Okay.
So now we're which you can do seated also.
You anticipated my question.
Yeah.
Let me see how that would look seated.
Yes.
I'm going to put my handy dandy notes away for a moment. So for our friends who are seated or want to do these exercises seated, show us how it would work from a seated position.
We'd have to go a little wider, which is okay. We're going more to a hammer curl, which I love. But so we have our weight. We're just pulling it up to our hip, leaning back, and doing a bicep curl.
Okay. So try this at home. Get your laundry detergent, your bottles of milk, water, soup cans, anything like that, and you can try from a seated position. Great. Okay. Do we have any other questions right now before we move on, Nick or Carl?
Right, the first two people that email with their address.
Oh, yes. Okay, great. Email address, our email in the comments you can, so people know. Email us first two with your address, and then we can you'll get in on Carl's offer to get those bands, but we're going to share the information with everyone so you all can order. So Coach Jake, tell us more.
So to incorporate kind of the hips, the abductors, we can kind of seated mimic the speed skater. So standing up, touch as low as we can.
Let me move out of the way. Okay. Sean, you demonstrate. Okay, let's see the guys do that.
This is going to be more for intensity than it is. I mean, you can be holding a lighter weight,
Okay.
but it's going to be rhythm.
Wow. Okay. And about how far back should our leg go for folks who are not in a seated position for this? How far should we be stretching? Way far? Like what? How far should we go?
Keep a slight bend in the knee
Okay.
until it touches.
Got it. But your knee should not touch the ground.
Correct. No.
Okay.
Right. This is more about intensity.
Got it.
Coach Jake, is there a modified version for those that are wheelchair bound?
Yes.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
is going to engage more of the abductors, because we're going side to side. So it's almost a stretch. So we'd go from one side to the next side.
Got it.
But in opening up the hips, you're going to engage the hip abductors.
And where should we feel that the most?
The side of the glute,
Okay.
side of your hip.
Back here.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
And what should we be looking for to know we're doing it wrong?
For this, I would say any discomfort in the lower back.
Okay. All right.
Too much of a stretch.
Okay. All right. Just how many reps?
Being that we're not using a go higher, I would say.
Or does it
I would
depend on the exercise?
It depends on the exercise, but I would say 12 to 15.
Okay.
It's just if you're trying for resistance training,
Got it.
and you're over 15, you're really just doing cardio
Got it. Okay.
instead of
Okay.
strength training.
Okay. Can you define for folks who are newer to fitness, what is the difference between cardio and strength training? Kind of educate us on that.
So in an aerobic state, we're taking in a lot of oxygen. We're training the respiratory system. That oxygen is then used to burn fat and carbohydrates as fuel. You generally have a higher heart rate. You're engaging type 1 slow twitch muscles. When you're using resistance to train, especially with a progressive overload, you're generally using larger muscles like the quads, the glutes. You're using your type 2 fast twitch muscles. They rely on glycogen, glucose to burn fuel. They're not taking in oxygen. It's a very quick process. That's your fatigue.
Per week when who's maybe newer to exercising engage in these types of exercises?
I'd say start with 3 days a week.
Okay.
Best thing to do for the first week, do it one day, take a day off, do it the next day. Let the body acclimate, and then go into your 3-day stretches.
Okay.
Take 1 or 2 days off.
Got it.
And repeat the process. Important. It's just remembering to hit the bicep. If I'm doing shoulders or lateral raises, I've hit the shoulders.
Okay.
So you can do so many different variations of what we've done, either seated or standing with, different leg movements and arm movements.
Okay. Okay.
It's just, making sure that you're hitting as much of the muscle chain as possible.
It seems to me to be a good idea for folks to keep a journal of what they did on each day, so they're not doing too much of the same thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We've got journals, y'all. If y'all want an amputee journal, we'll send you one. We have hundreds of them at our office.
Right.
Anything will work, right?
Yeah.
You can take a notepad, calendar, whatever, but we should keep track of that, right?
And especially if their goal is strength, muscle building, you want to record the weights, because you have to add a progressive overload as you get stronger, or the muscle's not going to get bigger.
Okay. Yeah, because I've heard of this thing called plateauing. Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Okay.
It takes months to do, but then just switch up your workout.
Got it.
Increase the reps, just increase the weight.
Got it.
Yeah.
So a variety of exercises and keeping that variety going, both in the types of exercise you're doing, but also increasing if you're thing every day.
Training is
Do you have any other exercises you can show us?
I have a lot.
Right.
So either, well, this one obviously is just for standing, but I love the sumo position if it's comfortable. Toes a little bit out.
Toes a little bit out.
Whenever you get low with the body, just so everybody knows, you want to angle the feet out. It's more of a natural position as you go down for the body.
Got it.
But so suitcase squat, just straight down.
How far should you go? I'm not that far down. How far should we be
As
going?
low as you can go.
Okay.
If you have weight, that's what's going to pull your hips down, your butt down,
Got it.
and increase that range of motion. And then you want to be holding, just one thing that's centered to the body, and then going up
And then
into
raise it
press.
up.
Right. You can either press it or you can swing it for the shoulders.
Got it.
Right.
So again, your Tide detergent, your soup cans, your gallon of water or milk, that could be your weight at home.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And then for seated, just a simple leg extension
There you go.
while you're holding that weight up.
Got it.
Right. Come
Okay.
down. Now we're hitting the lower seated two for chest. Have some type of handles, just like the dips we did before, but
Okay.
leaning forward. It takes a while to acclimate, but any weight that you can get off the chair is putting tension on the chest, the pectorals.
Got it.
But if you have 12 pack might kind of heavy, laying back and you're extending your arms out while squeezing that weight is going to be isometric tension on the inner chest.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we don't want to overlook the chest.
Okay.
But squeeze presses, great for the chest.
So if you've got a dictionary at home, phone book, a
Yes.
Bible, I don't know.
Your prosthetic.
Your prosthetic?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Especially those ankles, right, Carl? Those microprocessor ankles we looked at are pretty heavy. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Coach Jake.
anyone's a little more advanced, because I've done it, an unopened 12 pack
Of beer?
of soda.
Or beer.
No alcohol.
Okay.
Right. Yes. But yeah, squeezing that is a perfect weight for the chest.
You used the term, you said isometric tension.
So isometric tension, we're not just, it's like a plane. Contracted without stretching it.
Okay.
Right, correct.
So take your 12 pack of seltzer water or soda or
Yeah.
pop, as we
Right.
say in Michigan.
Yeah.
Take one straight out.
Yep. Lean back to kind of put more weight, tension on the chest.
So lean back in your chair.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're straight up and down, it's gonna be a lot more shoulder, but you're still gonna get that, just like doing
Got it.
an incline press.
And is this a similar thing where if you're using something that has you do about 15 of that?
15. Your last 3 reps, you want, if you're doing 15, you want that 12th to be hard. If it's the last one, you want it to almost not be able to.
Got it.
Otherwise, try.
Okay.
If for the progressive overload for building the muscular system is your goal, then yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. Okay, what else can you show us?
So we've got biceps, back. See, I had some more. So we covered band extensions. Rotator cuff's a good one, especially while
Okay.
seated. So dual dumbbell, the health of the shoulder, the rotator cuff. This is where can good, something that weight,
Okay, like your soup cans, that kind of thing?
right, will
Okay.
come into play. We're just hanging the arms down, keeping that tension on the rotator cuff, and they're just rotating our arms back.
Got it. So you have a can in both hands.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
And we're just rotating the shoulder.
Got it.
Shoulder health Very important.
And if you're doing this standing up, your feet should be about shoulder length.
I say, yeah, just for shoulder width apart. But yeah, it's just a simple rotator cuff rotation. That just helps the rotator cuff stabilize under load. It's the health of the shoulder.
Which is very, very important for our folks who are using wheelchairs or other mobility aids, right? To have your shoulders healthy. We don't want to injure them. This is the way to keep it nice and healthy. And obviously we've been talking about soup cans, detergent, water, milk, beer, your prosthetic. If someone has weights, they can use weights for these exercises.
Dumbbells, one good exercise is just mimic running, toe tap.
There you go.
And
so
keep that endurance for a minute. Take a pause, 30 seconds, another minute. Right.
Nice. So if you're not running yet, you can mimic it and still get some of that aerobic benefit, right?
Right. Correct.
Okay, great. What else can you show us?
So we.
Questions?
Yeah, we definitely did speeds. So a lot.
Okay.
But if you have any type of bungee for the rear deltoids, expanding the shoulders.
Can this be like a bungee that like my dad would have in his garage? It can be your household bungee cord?
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
good to know. Or if you go camping and you have one for your tent or something like that, it doesn't have to be a workout bungee.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell us more.
Or when you do get bands, shoulder width, and just extend the rear deltoids.
And where should you feel this the most?
The back of the shoulder.
Back of the shoulder.
And the traps, the trapezius back here.
Up here? These are like your, okay.
Yeah. Right behind the neck.
And again, if you're in a standing position, your feet should probably be about shoulder length apart for balance.
Correct.
But for those of you who are in the seated position, whether you're using a chair or you just prefer to be in the seated position, this is something they can easily do.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Good. Carl, have you done any exercises or do you think you might? You have. I see your head shaking yes.
I have.
Okay.
Not all of them, but some of them I would still do even in two legs.
Right.
Okay.
Regardless of the weight or just the stretching. Some of these exercises are really good warm-ups for if you're going to lift heavy weights or do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The key point being is things that we've done, you can mix them up.
Okay.
You can change the wrist, from a supinated curl to a hammer curl to pronated, now where you're hitting the outer head of the bicep and the brachii, but incorporating different feet movements. So
got it.
Things that we've done, but combine it with a different lower body combination.
Can you show us for everyone again the difference in what
and back and rows. So supinated, you're gonna be your wrists are gonna be pointed out.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So for a curl, that's your general position because it's gonna hit both the long and short head of the bicep.
So you should, for people who have biceps, you should feel it here. Well, we all do, but you.
Right.
Okay, you get my drift. You should feel it here.
Yeah.
Even little ones.
So curl,
which is kind of this way, like with your hand.
Yep.
Like you're using a hammer.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. When you're swinging it, it looks like or when you're lifting it, it looks like you're swinging a hammer.
Okay.
But the wrists are pointed towards the body. It's about where the tension on that muscle is going to generate. So when you do a hammer curl, it's gonna be the long head of the bicep.
There.
Yeah, but mainly the upper part where it connects to the shoulder. So it's working out. See that as much as you can when you do a bicep curl, right? And then pronated so that your wrists are facing down.
Like you're riding a bike.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So pretend you're grabbing handles, and then you're bringing the brachii up. You're bringing the forearm up.
Okay.
That's engaging the large muscle of the forearm.
I can feel it here.
Right. Yeah.
You can feel it here. Okay.
Right. But then the lower head, where it engages to the elbow of the bicep.
Got it.
Yeah. The guy with those huge.
Interesting. So that's very important for our friends who are wheelchair bound, using mobility aids, using crutches occasionally, like Carl is now, to have all that arm strength, shoulder strength. Right.
Right. Yes. And even just farmer seated walks, I guess we would call them, just holding weights as you're seated. The shoulder and the body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into put them in the chat so we can ask. You mentioned warm-ups, and I'm just wondering, Coach Jake, with the exercises that we've done so far, is there any kind of warm-up or routine or things that you would recommend do before they get started with exercise?
Hamstrings are the number one
And then go backward.
Yeah.
Like you're backstroking.
Now more of the muscle come into slower, more of the tendon and ligaments.
Okay. All right. So you should feel the blood flowing, your body loosening up a little bit.
Right.
If you feel any pain doing that, stop.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It's then you generally start with your exercises that are lighter and they're also stretching. I don't do a lot of stretching before. I do stretching after to increase range of motion.
Okay. All right. Now, for a gym like UFC Gym, if there are people who are more advanced, maybe they're like Carl, they've run triathlons, they've done all. Carl, I just learned today, used to fight, right? So, used to, not anymore, okay? But for people who are, does it?
Amputees that participate in boxing conditioning, muscle makeover. Yeah, definitely.
For those of you, if your goal is to graduate up to that point, maybe you're newer in your journey as an amputee, or you're newer in your fitness journey, this is something that you're not going to wake up one day and be a marathon runner. We've talked about that a lot on Life Amplified, but certainly you can start with exercises like these and enlist the help of a coach like Coach Jake, if you're in the Pittsburgh area or anywhere you are at, right, to get professional training, right? I think that's the important thing here for people to know is you want to work with an expert when possible.
Cheapest preventative medicine on the planet.
It's your physical fitness.
Yes.
Yes. So Nick and Carl behind the screen, do we have any questions from any of our members? Because I will grab our questions from social media unless we've got some from folks who are attending live.
Comments about having accountability partners if you don't have a coach.
Yeah.
Reach out to somebody else in the community that you could kind of
That's big.
on each other and do the same thing.
Here, Sean.
Yeah.
Great point. Yes, always an accountability partner is helpful for a lot of things, whether it's diet, exercise, mental health, keeping you going to your doctor's appointments. So sure, great idea. Okay. Do we have any other questions or comments? Because I'll get to the ones we grab from social media if not. Should I go with these ones? Okay, I'm seeing head shaking yes from behind the screen, but y'all remember, we've only got a little bit of time left, so if you want to ask a question live, now is the time, and Nick and Carl can read it for us. So Coach Jake, we did ask folks on social media for some questions, and I got some in advance. And so one of the questions here, which you already answered, which is what can you use at home, your at-home hack?
Yeah.
You mentioned soup cans. your prosthetic to the weight,
Yeah.
detergent. Is there anything else that you would suggest people use for at-home hacks if they can't get to a gym?
Something that's not gonna change its trajectory while you're holding it. So typically things with handles or something
Okay.
solid.
Okay.
But yeah, detergent's one of the best things because it has the handle. You can rotate the elbow and gravity will just center it where
Okay.
it needs to be. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So look for things that have handles on them.
Right.
Amazon's not a bad place to go, it sounds like, for some of these workouts.
Especially for bands.
For
Yeah,
bands.
bands are super inexpensive and there's so much you can do with resistance bands.
Great to know. We'll share some of that information, as I said, when we send out our recording, which we do every Friday, and when we post our video to YouTube. Another question that we received was for tips for post-workout recovery. This might be for folks who are more active.
Yeah.
And I would love for you to spend a little bit of time talking about the recovery center that you have here at UFC Gym Pittsburgh and what kinds of things folks can try for post-workout recovery when they've got a super intense workout or even a moderate workout.
Right.
What's about that?
So we have probably the most extensive recovery spa in Western Pennsylvania. I follow a process, if you have any time to research it, called hormesis.
What is
So it is short period extreme for the body.
Oh,
So therapy, the body is actually very release dead cells. It will need to keep the body in tip-top shape.
Interesting.
It thinks either winter's coming or it's getting ready to hunt. It's just when you're comfortable, it's sad, but it's true. The body starts to decay.
Yeah, yeah.
The process is like we have here, cryotherapy. It's a quick 2 to 3 minutes from -5.
Wow.
When you use something like that, the body thinks that it's preparing for a winter, whether it be just winter in general, cold weather is going to be happening all the time. So it'll start producing new collagen for joints, ligaments, the skin. People like to do it before the workout activates better. So you start a scoop of not all I won't get into all of that, but pre-workout, some good, some bad.
Okay.
I'll take a scoop of Optimum Nutrition pre-work your whole to Dura and after from going as you can, just to protect it, create a range of motion. The best therapy, though, is the heart and the circulatory system because it contracts the blood vessels from the cold and just running, the heart's fighting to pump. Health benefits with crowd. Have your extreme heat. We have cocoon saunas.
Okay, tell us about that.
So it's a cocoon. So you're laying on a massage bed while you get the benefits of red light. Red light has cellular rejuvenation property, healing, inflammation. And you can how fast as possible.
Okay.
Put it on high hypothermic, 160 degrees, 30 minutes. With that process known as hormesis too, you can it's all about tricking the sympathetic 30 minutes. Body will to release large amounts of growth hormone.
Okay.
Growth hormone, men and women, that's what controls basically the health of the body.
Okay.
So that's another trick.
Now, if we could pause there for a moment, because some of you who are newer in your life as an amputee, you might have read about red light therapy.
Yes.
For healing my
Let's think about that on the amputee show. friends on our webinar, if you're watching our recording, you may have read about red light therapy in a slightly different context than working out, which is your recovery from your amputation, or if you have other issues or surgery, as Carl did. But even for folks who aren't amputees like me, after workout, we can take advantage of that too, or it sounds like even before.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the key points after workout, before the workout, of ice bath. Generally, the rule of thumb, people that want maximum muscle growth, avoid ice baths after workout.
Good to know.
You have oxygen, where's the body signal for growth hormone. You know, to short term. But yes, we have Normatex, the compressions. So ideally, cups on your leg, they just work in unison. We have them for the legs, the arms, and the hips. And then walk into a machine called the VersaPro. You can bronze,
Ooh.
and you can use the ironic act. You know, you're working. So this you point of it is recover faster, therefore train harder,
Go.
but you're going to look better and you're going to feel better.
So, and there, the recovery spot is here at UFC. Different gym.
Hello.
Super cool amenity. Go ahead, Carl.
Okay, quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do they find out more about UFC Gym? How do they track you down? How do they become a member? Where can they go? Is there a website?
Yeah.
What's the best way for them to
So-
learn more?
So UFCGymPGH.com will take you to our gym. We are franchised, owned by a local company. Obviously, call, stop in. But yes,
Awesome.
Yeah, if you're local to the Pittsburgh area or you're willing to come into the Pittsburgh area, super cool location right in Market Square, tons of amenities,
35,000 square feet.
35,000 square feet.
This place is huge.
This place is huge. And as Carl said when we started out, very clean. Everyone is super nice. And we for the any other questions, comments, or anything that we have to share. I'm seeing head shaking now, which means we answered all your questions. Great. If we haven't already received our 2 addresses, please make sure that if you are the first of 2, 1 or second person to send us by email your address and your name, you can take Coach Jake. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my
for just they're over, what'd you say, 30 feet?
35,000.
1,000. Okay. Like I said, if you're not here and you're local, what are you doing? Go to get here. So thank you for giving us some of your time today and for learning these exercises. Please try these. Watch the recording. If you didn't catch all of the things, or if you want to go back through and watch the repetitions or where you put your feet, watch the recording. And if you have questions, happy to connect you with UFC Gym Pittsburgh, or if you're not in our area, a gym and a trainer like Coach Jake, maybe not as good as Coach Jake, but we'll do our best in your area.
Lots of them.
So there are lots, but I'd say if you can go see him, let's go see him. So Carl, next week on Life Amplified, we are doing a giveaway. So super excited about this. So November 19th, 2 o'clock Eastern time on Zoom and TikTok. Hi, TikTok friends. We are doing our holiday gift. We would love that. You can use other to replace their liner. That might be. We also want to share all kinds of phone, gaming device, all of those things. So because amputees can watch and learn not only from us, but from all of you about what you think would be helpful to gift these for the holiday season. If you attend live, we are giving away over $500 of gifts. Okay. We're giving things away. A lot of free advice and expertise for you giveaway. Okay.
Maybe weight bands, maybe a membership to the UFC.
Yeah. We've got
for amputees.
no, but
Right.
so do some extra exercise information on social media. Get involved in our Giving Tuesday campaign called Miracle. About that next Tuesday.
Awesome.
And the week of Thanksgiving involved in that. So you all competing in that as well. That's 2 giveaways coming up. In December, everyone, we will have a second session with Calm Pittsburgh. We're going to be talking about your mental health. Today, we talked about your physical health. We'll be talking about mental health and wellness, holiday stress, travel stress with Calm Pittsburgh. And the week after that, Social Security disability benefits with a lawyer here in Pittsburgh. So if you have questions about the Social Security disability process, that is the time to come, December 10th. As always, Wednesdays, 2 o'clock Eastern time on Zoom, TikTok. Our models, for Carl for being our commentator, and for Nick behind the screen. Thanks, everyone. Until next Wednesday, 2 o'clock Eastern time, take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your week and have a good beginning of next week. Take care, everyone. Bye. And get to UFC Gym. Bye, everyone.